For the last couple of months, I have been covering the Carmelo Anthony case, and while I've been covering this case, I've been doing my best to ring the alarm and warn people about all of the anti-white hatred that is flowing through our society right now. And it has been going on for years. It is everywhere you look, from music to movies to TV shows to the news. This anti-white hatred is everywhere, and in my opinion, you have to be absolutely blind not to see it. However, a lot of people are still denying its existence. When the Carmelo Anthony case came about, and you saw a large portion of the black community rally around Carmelo, say he did nothing wrong, while celebrating the death of Austin Metcalf, a lot of people, when they saw that, they thought it was a one-off. When they saw the black community come together and spread jokes and memes and trash Austin Metcalf's family, they thought it was just a one-off situation. And as I've been trying to warn people and tell people that, hey, look, I love everybody. I love everyone from all races. If you treat me good, I'll treat you good. But that does not change the fact that a large portion of the black community and other communities as well have been really open about their hatred for white people over the past few years. It doesn't matter how anti-racist you are. It doesn't matter if you're one of those people that say, I don't see color. There's only one race and it's the human race. It doesn't matter how you feel inside. That doesn't change how other people feel. And just because you have no hate in your heart, like I have no hate in my heart, does not mean that these people are not harboring hatred in their heart. And now, hopefully, what has just transpired over the past couple of days will start to wake even more people up. If the Carmelo Anthony story was not enough for you, maybe this will be. As you guys know, there have been crazy floods going on in Texas over the past couple of days. Dozens of people have lost their lives. Dozens of people are still missing, including a bunch of little girls from a summer camp. I mean, the story is so tragic that I couldn't really bring myself to talk about it too much, because I was literally getting emotional and depressed just thinking about it. All of those young girls who, tragically lost their lives, were still clinging on to hope that some are found alive, but it's not looking good. And I couldn't help but think about all the parents who lost young kids. But as people like me, people like you, as normal people are mourning the loss of these young kids, there are a good bit of black people out there, not all, definitely not all, but there are some people out there celebrating the death of these young girls. There are people out there celebrating, and it's not just black people, it's people on the left as well. There's people out there celebrating the death of these young girls. And they're now making it about race. Now they're basically saying, hey, they're white, who cares? They probably deserved it. And if this is not enough to wake people up, I don't know what it is. If you see what I'm about to show you, if you listen to this video and you walk away still thinking that there's not a problem with white hatred, anti-white rhetoric in this country, then I don't know what to tell you. You are a lost cause. And maybe your kid will end up like Austin Metcalf or something like that. Because these people are not hiding how they feel. They are blatantly open about how they feel about white people, and they constantly are celebrating the death of young white kids. And it's just crazy to me to think that there are fathers and mothers out there in Texas right now personally searching through the debris, hoping to find their kid's body. That's the reality of the situation. I hate to get that grim and graphic, but there are parents out there searching for their kid's body in the flood debris. There are kids out there searching for their parents' body in all of the debris and chaos. And as those parents are searching for their little 7 and 8-year-old girls, we got black women online saying that the little girls deserved it. Somehow making this flood about race, using this flood as a platform to spread their hatred and disdain for white people. Hatred that we're told doesn't exist. And look, folks, when I started calling this stuff out during the Carmelo Anthony case, boy, oh boy, did I receive a lot of heat, and I still am to this day. I had a lot of people who have been subbed to me, supporting me for years, turn against me because all of a sudden now they claim that I'm a big bad racist because I pointed out the other racist, all of the other racism that is going on in our world, because all we hear is about white people are bad, white people do this. But in all reality, the black community has to be the most racist community in America. That's just the reality of the situation. And if you've lived somewhere like where I live, you would know that. But a lot of people live their sheltered little lives, right? But seeing this unfold currently, after everything we saw go down with Austin Metcalf and how they treated his family and all of the vile things they were saying about that situation, to see people celebrate the death of dozens of little girls because they happen to be white, and I don't even know if all of them are white. I think the most of them that I've seen were white, but that's not even something I was really paying attention to. I was just thinking, oh my God, all of these little kids who lost their lives, yet we have black women online sharing TikTok videos, laughing and smiling and happy about it simply because the kids were white. But before I rant even further, because boy oh boy, this one has me ticked off for real. Before I rant even further, I have a video that I want to show you guys. This video was posted by a black woman named Sadie Robinson or Sadie Robinson. I'm not sure how she pronounces her name. You know, people like her, they come up with weird pronunciations for their names all the time. But seriously though, she posted this video, and look, before I show you, I just want to give you a quick rundown. This woman, Sadie Perkins, she is the market manager of Freedmanstown Farmers Market. And she once served on the board of directors for Houston's food insecurity in Houston, Texas. So she is a woman that was at least somewhat in a position of power. I'm not saying that, oh, she had a lot of power, you know, being on the food insecurity board. But she's someone that had a position to where, yeah, it would be concerning if you find out that they're a crazy racist that hates white people so much that they're willing to upload TikTok videos celebrating the deaths of dozens of young white girls in a flash flood. So yeah, when you see people with that amount of hatred in their heart, they should be locked away somewhere, shunned from society, not serving on any board for anything at all. But before I roll the clip, I'm about to right now, if you guys support the channel, make sure you hit that thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, share this video. We need to spread the word about what this woman is saying and what this woman is doing. She wanted the attention. She posted these videos on social media because she was desperate for attention. So let's give her the attention she deserves. Share the videos. And if you really dig the channel, if you like the videos, if you're glad that there's someone out there with the balls to call this stuff out, then you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's listen to what this racist, crazy woman has to say, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
I know I'm probably going to get canceled for this, but Camp Mystic is a whites-only girls' Christian camp. They don't even have a token Asian. They don't have a token black person. It is a all-white, white-only, conservative Christian camp. If you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in, you ain't going, period. And I think that context needs to be said in this matter. It's not to say that we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing or whatever right now. But you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, especially with them being in East Texas, it should be most likely Hispanic. If this were a group of Hispanic girls out there, this would not be getting this type of coverage that they're getting. No one would give a fuck. And all these white people, the parents of these little girls, would be saying things like they need to be deported. They shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yada, yada, yada. So before y'all come at me, before y'all start leaving hate comments on my page about, oh, these are just kids and they don't know no better, da, 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 da. The parents of these children who are choosing, and it is a choice in 2025, it is definitely a freaking choice to go into East goddamn Texas and to make a all-white enclave, exclusionary just for white people, with all the black people in East Texas, with all the Hispanic people in East Texas. Somehow, some way, you have carved out an all-white, whites-only enclave in East Texas for your white children. Yeah, I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Once again, this is no shade to the girls. I hope they all get found. But once again, y'all have to understand the climate that we're living in. They want you to have sympathy for these people. They want you to get out of your bed and to come out of your home and to go find these people and to donate your money to go find these people. Meanwhile, they are deporting your family members. Meanwhile, they're setting up concentration camps and prisons for your family members. And I need y'all to keep that in mind before y'all get out there and put on your rain boots and go find these little girls.
Now, this should go without saying, but the summer camp was not an all-white summer camp. White people, unlike every other group of people, white people are not allowed to have white-only spaces. You could have black-only colleges. You could have black people talking about how they want, their own black areas where other people can't come and bother them. You'll have all of that, but you can't have an all-white summer camp. Now, were most of the kids there white? Yeah. Most of the kids there are white. So what? When it comes to black kids, most of them aren't going to summer camp for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have a solid, parental structure at home. Or maybe they, instead of going out and learning how to tie knots and canoeing, they rather run the streets in their shiesty masks and pretend to be little thugs and gangsters, little Carmelo Anthonys. You cannot blame these young white girls who are out there doing constructive things with their life. You cannot blame them for the failures of the black community. It's not these white people's fault that black parents aren't sending their kids to summer camp. Yet for some reason, that's what we're supposed to believe. White people should feel guilty, right? White people who send their daughters off to summer camp should feel guilty that black parents aren't doing the same. Why? Well, that's their problem, right? But she frames it as if, oh, this is just this all-white enclave. No other people are allowed. Oh my God, there's not a token Asian. There's not a token black. It's just insane. For the people who constantly cry about racism and constantly cry, about oppression and all of this stuff, they're the people who automatically see race in everything. As I've been looking at this story about these floods, race didn't come to my mind at all. Race literally did not come to my mind at all until I saw this woman's video having a meltdown about this summer camp. Literally, not even for 1 second did I think about race. Yet for the people who constantly cry racism, who claim they're being discriminated against, that's all they see. That's all they see. But folks, what she said in that video is not the worst of it. She doubles and triples down. She goes even further. For example, right here. Someone says, girl, you brought this upon yourself. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from the consequences. In which Sadie or Sage says, consequences for what? Maybe it was God's will to wash them little cunts away. Can you imagine saying something like that? all watching this story unfold. And I don't know how this story has made you all feel, but there's not a news story that I can think of in my history of covering the news that has made me just as sad as this story. We've seen plenty of floods and hurricanes, and you name it. I've had to evacuate plenty of hurricanes in my life. Never have I felt as emotional as I am, as how I feel now hearing about all of these young girls at that summer camp. But then we have complete monsters like Sade or Sadie, who despise white people so much inside of her heart that she says, oh, maybe it was God's will to have them little cunts washed away. She refers to little girls who were swept away in a tragic flood as the C-U-N-T word. And folks, you see, this is what I was warning you guys about. If you're wondering, why has Cinnamon Shogun been talking about this for the last couple of months? Because it's important. Because this is how people feel, folks. Sorry to wake you up from La La Land. Everything is not kumbaya, folks. And it hasn't been for a very long time. This is how a lot of people feel about your white kids. And a lot of these people are in positions of power. They're your kids' teachers. They're your kids' doctors, your kids this, your kids that. It's important to understand the mentality that a lot of these people have, because we are surrounded by people who absolutely hate us and will cheer and clap when little white girls lose their lives in a crazy flood. If every last kid, every last little girl at that camp was a black little girl or a Latino little girl or an Asian little girl, I would feel the exact same way that I feel now. I would feel heartbroken. I would feel depressed. I would feel nothing but sorrow. My prayers would still be the same. But unfortunately, what I've had to figure out the hard way is that a lot of people like me, a lot of people like you, a lot of people who are white, we were raised to view everyone as equal, to have compassion and love for everyone. And as we're getting older, we're starting to figure out that these other groups of people were not raised the same. They were raised to hate us. It has to be some really hardcore, like just deep-seated hatred for you to say something like what this woman just said. That's next levels of hatred. And when you have people that are harboring that much hate, it's really dangerous. Like I said, these aren't just random ghetto hood rats that are standing on the corner that you don't have to deal with. These are people that are placing themselves in positions of power. They're lawyers, they're judges, they're the people making your fast food at McDonald's, spitting in your double cheeseburgers. They're everywhere. With this mentality. A mentality that for some reason a lot of white people like to pretend doesn't exist. But it does, and it's on full display here. On full freaking display. So all of the people who have been mad at me for calling out the Carmelo supporters, what do you have to say now? This is not a one-off. This is not a one-off. We're watching people do victory laps and dance on the graves of white children. That's what we've been watching for the last couple of months. And these people are celebrating about it on social media. But if someone like me dares to call it out, we're the ones that receive hate, heat, and hatred. That's the crazy part. And I still have a lot to say about this situation, but for now, I'll leave it right here. But mark my words, like I said at the beginning of this video, Sade or Sadie, whatever her name is, she wanted attention. She wanted attention, and now she's going to get it. This will not be the last video I make about this woman. I will be digging into things, and I will have some updates coming for you all later. She wants to play around. She wants to play games and be ugly and evil and hateful. Well, guess what? You met your match today. I plan on having a lot of fun with this woman. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and then I'll talk to you all very, very soon in the next one.